Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank. With 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Moneman number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farmer special, north specials, sherry specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it, and also can meet the Chihuahua, Moneman number 3.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank. With 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Moneman number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farmer special, north specials, sherry specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it, and also can meet the Chihuahua, Moneman number 3.
Mr. Diesel Truck and Trailer Repair and Mobile Welding is a family-owned and operated business with 19 years of hands-on experience. We thrive on pleasing our customers with great prices, quality work, and a personal experience. We offer 24/7 roadside service for semi-tractor trailers, as well as on-site service repairs for heavy equipment. We also offer mobile welding. Contact us at 334-476-0393. DTA, Daniel Towing and Automotive. Need a tow? Need some mechanical work? Contact Lee and Sandy Daniel at 334-863-4252. Serving East Alabama and West Georgia. You call, we haul. DTA, Daniel Towing and Automotive. Proud supporters of Rebel Athletics. DTA Towing. The Pig, Highway 50, Lafayette, Alabama. The Pig, the best meats in town. Beef, chicken, and pork. The Pig, the freshest breads and dairy and produce across Chambers County. Down home, down the street. The Pig, where customer service is number one. Piggly Wiggly, Highway 50, Lafayette, Alabama. Proud supporters of your Chambers Academy Rebels. Newman's Farm Supply, located downtown on the square in Lafayette. Contact them at 334-864-7006. Family owned and operated since 2011, Newman's carries feed for all of your animals. Tucker Milling, Sports Mix, Value Pack, along with deer feed, corn, hay rolls, alfalfa bales, pine and wheat straw. Newman's is also an FFL dealer. Newman's also reminds everyone to get their CA gun raffle tickets. Raffle starts November 1st.
Hey Rebel fans, it's Pastor Dave here at Lafayette Heights Baptist Church. Our church is celebrating its 100th anniversary, and we've been so blessed to be here and be a part of ministry in this community for a whole century. And we're looking forward to the next 100 years of gospel ministry here in our city and in our area. And we invite you to come and be a part of experiencing the faithfulness of our God as it extends to you and your family. Come and join us.
Isaac Horton, proud supporter of Chambers Academy, would like to thank you for your support in the coming election. Go Rebels! State Farm agent Mike Spears is your local and trusted insurance agent. Contact Mike Spears at 334-864-8772 for all of your insurance needs, home, auto, life, and more. You can also stop by Mike's office and see him at 401 South Lafayette Street, Lafayette, Alabama, on the 4-lane. State Farm agent Mike Spear, proud supporter of Rebel Athletics. Go Rebels! Lafayette True Value, located on the Highway 50 bypass in Lafayette, is the only resource for your home improvement projects. Behind every project is a True Value. James Allen and his staff proudly support the Chambers Academy Rebels. Come out and see James, Colby, or John Carl, or you can just give them a call at 334-864-9842. And James Allen thanks you for shopping local. Shepherd Homeworks, established in 2004, headquartered in beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, serving East Alabama, Lake Martin, and West Georgia. At Shepherd Homeworks, we specialize in custom cabinets and millwork built in our very own cabinet shop. Contact Stephen Shepherd at 334-234-1234 1180 to make your dreams become reality. And go Rebels. Star Insurance Group of Opelika, Auburn, Montgomery, and Greenville. With all of life's demands, buying insurance is probably low on your list. Luckily, there's someone who's looking out for you and putting your needs first. A trusted friend is right around the corner. The team at Star Insurance can provide you with great protection with a personal touch. When it comes to understanding your needs, you want someone who can listen with understanding and care. You want professional advice with a personal experience? Whether it's business, farm, home, or auto, their team can help. They're not just agents, they're members of the community. The Chambers Academy Booster Club would like to thank the following people for donating guns: Dodge and Logan, Chambers Ledger, Crane Septic System, Daniel Lawn Care, Newman Farm Supply, Harmon Insurance, Jack T. Langley Wood Company, Quality First Drywall, Mr. Ice, Monkus Lawn Care, King Chevrolet, Diversified Mortgage, Sanders Logging, Brian's Transmission, Mitchum Auto, King Ford, Kenny Knox, Valley Collision, Allen Scrap, Teague Incorporated, Lafayette True Value, Alabama Georgia Wood, Keith Transmission, and Four Seasons Heating and Air. Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank. With 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Moneman number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farm special, north specials, share specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it also can meet the Chihuahua. Moneman number 3.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show with Coach Jason Allen. We're here at Monte Alban 3 on the north side of Lafayette, and we are sponsored by Farmers and Merchants Bank, and we certainly appreciate all our friends from both those sponsors. My friend Chester's here. Chet, glad you're here.
Sid, great to be back here. Took the week off last week and had a good pep rally down there at school for the game last Friday. It was a senior pep rally we had up there. It was a good time with everybody. We did miss the folks down here at Monte Alban, so it's great to be back down here hanging out with our buddies Roxanne and Luis.
Well, we did miss being here. It's always fun to get together on the Thursday Night Coaches Show, but I think it was a good decision not to have a conflict. It was a big deal with the seniors, big deal with the pep rally, so I think it's the right choice, and we'll just be doubly as entertaining tonight. How about that? Just make up for not being here.
Hey, that's setting the bar pretty high, but hey, we should have a good show tonight.
Yeah, we should. We absolutely should. I know we've got an awful lot of stuff to talk about here tonight. The game last week was a challenge, I think, from a coaching standpoint and an announcing standpoint, because we did have the numbers on those guys and we did have the talent level on those guys. So it was challenging, I think, to keep that game under control, just get everybody in and out. And we'll talk more with our coaches about that, but it was really a dominant performance from start to finish. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. It was a great crowd again down there at Torbert Allen Field. Little showers there before kind of kept everybody at home, but they showed up right at kickoff and packed the house and had a great environment down there. So we got one more home game in the regular season versus Glenwood, and that's next Friday. But we got a lot to talk about for tomorrow as we head down the road to Hope Hall and take on the Hooper Colts.
Well, we will do, let me give the folks just a brief refresher. What we'll do tonight, we do have our typical 4 segments here. We'll review last week. We'll talk about some stats. We'll bring in Coach Dillon. We'll talk a little bit of the defense with him. Then we'll bring in Coach Allen. Along the way, we're going to throw in a little bit of a twist there. We're going to bring in we're going to refresh our offensive and defensive players of the game last week, and we're also going to add our impact player, announce them right after that. So we're going to move it up to the middle of the show. We have 2 impact players this week, so we'll leave everybody hanging on that one for a little while. And then at the end, we'll just wrap things up and talk about the schedule for tomorrow and getting away, and talk about how important that game is, because it really is important for us to get down there and get another win.
Yeah, this is week 9. Things are coming together in the region. Playoff spots are getting filled, and things are getting exciting as we come down here toward the end of the regular season. And on another note there, the regular season for the Lady Rebels volleyball team ended this evening, and they went out on a good note. They beat Trinity 3-1 down here at Langley Gym and at Chambers Academy. So congratulations to those ladies for finishing the season with a big win.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Coach Howard, Coach Patterson, and all the young ladies. Nice job today. I was glad to be there and watch that final win of the season come together. And, really great 4-set, 3-1 win. Really nice way to close out their season.
Yeah, it was exciting, and hey, the future looks bright for the Lady Rebel volleyball team. JVs, some kids are moving up to the varsity, so it should be a great season next year with Coach Patterson and Coach Howard.
That sounds good, and I can't wait to dive into a little bit more of tonight's show. So we'll do that in just a little while.
Yeah, we'll take a break here and hear from our sponsors, and we'll come back to you here in a minute.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank with 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941.
Take some time.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
After we talk a little bit about the
After I go over the stats.
Craving some Mexican food?
POG and stuff.
Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Monema number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farm specials, north specials, share specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it, and also can meet the Chihuahua, Monema number 3.
All right, folks, and welcome back here to the Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show with Jason Allen, brought to you by Farmers and Merchants Bank. So this segment here, we're going to go over a little bit of detail of what happened last week versus the Macon East Knights. The Rebels came out on top of that one, 36-0, and Rebels jumped out early on that. So we'll go over some of the highlights of the stats from that game. The Rebels currently right now are 7-1. They're on a 7-game winning streak, and they're 3-0 in the region. Like I said earlier, the Rebels won 36-0. That's 2 shutouts in a row now for the Rebel defense there. That's a huge feat nowadays in high school football.
And, I don't have those numbers in front of me. I know that we are adding a great amount of scoring to that side of the equation. I'm sure we're closing in on 400 points scored. We've got to be getting near that. And then, those defensive numbers, I think the last one I saw was 68 before the last 2 games. I don't think that's moved because of the 2 shutouts.
That's right.
So we may be at that kind of number. And that, as I've said before during last week's show, those numbers are really unbalanced. I mean, you just don't see that. And I think it supports the idea that this is a very talented team. The offense is explosive, and the defense is just really tough to score against, tough to get yardage against, and I think it comes down to dominating the line of scrimmage on both of those.
That's where it starts at. So when in the offensive line took care of business early, Luke Tarver took the first snap of the game for a 69-yard touchdown, and then T.J. Daniel snuck in for a 2-point conversion. And the next series, the Rebel defense forced a 3-and-out for the Knights, and then Kareem Henry took the punt back
Yeah.
for a touchdown. So in less than 3 minutes, the Rebels were up 16-0.
Yeah, it was like every snap that we took was just a score. I mean, it's almost like everything we did was putting points on the board, and you get that. You get that sense of the game that it could get out of hand. It could really get out of hand quickly, and I think we did a nice job of managing that game. I think the coach staff did a really nice job of managing our guys, and just getting that game finished. Just get it completed. Nobody gets hurt. Everybody goes home safe and sound.
Yep. The offense put up 376 total yards of offense. Cole Baker threw for 62 yards, 3 for 5, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. On the rushing side of the ball, 256 yards. Luke Tarver dominated that, 5 carries, 144 yards, 1 touchdown. Landon Hand came in, got 8 carries, 40 yards. Tyson Hewitt had a big 48-yard touchdown run. And then Jack Nelms came in there in the second half and managed the running attack there in the second half.
Well, there's 2 things there. You did say 5 carries for 144 yards.
Yes.
So Luke's per carry average continues to be moving forward. And it was really nice to see Tyson get in. I think that's Tyson's second touchdown in the last 2 weeks. I think he's gotten 1 each game, the last 2 games. So it's good to see our guys get on the field and just dominate. It's really nice to see the balance there. Another thing I'll talk about is how efficient we have been on that 2-point snap. We really have been dominant against the teams we've been playing and getting those points as well.
Yep. And also note the other side of the rushing attack with Jacob Norgard. He was out of the game last week nursing that ankle injury. So just a well-balanced rushing attack there for the Rebels. On the receiving side, Kareem Henry came in 3 catches, 62 yards, 1 touchdown, and he also had a punt return touchdown there in the early in the first quarter. And then defense side was just another shutdown. Shut them out again this week. Gabe Bridges and Austin Brooks led with 5 tackles each. Colton Fuller, underclassman there, stepped up, had 4 tackles. Right. Drew Shepard, 3 tackles, a big scoop and score. Touchdown fumble recovery there for 50 yards. Drew had an outstanding game. And then Ryan Smith, of course, was just living in the backfield the Knights. He had 3 tackles.
You and I talked about it in our breaks in the first quarter. Austin was getting double teamed, and it was like he just stopped the 2 guys trying to block him, kind of threw him aside and made tackles. Ryan Ford was just absolutely hammering people, Luke hammering people. And then it was so nice to see, like, our secondary played really well. We saw TJ come in and put pressure on that corner several times, really not give them anything. I mean, Macon had a couple of good athletes. They had a couple of kids who really played well the entire game, never gave in, and really kind of the do-everything athlete on that team. But they were just really outgunned and outmanned, and it was really good, and I know we'll talk more about this. It was actually great to see our 2s and some 3s get on the field. And again, we talk about getting playing time, getting coached during a game, not to just run out a clock, but to get game time experience and learn how to play the game.
That's right, yeah. So, and then we were talking a second ago about some of the averages right now. The Rebel offense is averaging 43 points a game. The defense, with their shutouts in the past 2, has now lowered it down to only 8.5 points a game they're giving up. That's amazing. We're going into week 9.
Yeah, the numbers, this just furthers that whole imbalance I was talking about in the earlier stats. The defense is just really pounding away at people. I will tell you that the offensive side to me is there's just so much speed. Kareem has added such a big level of speed. Then you've got Jacob, who is incredibly fast, and Luke's quickness is just so dominant off the line. I mean, there is a big hole. Luke hits that hole, and you're counting on secondary people to tackle him. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Exactly. So, and as we look at some of the numbers there that Luke and Jacob are putting up year to date, these are some great numbers here. Luke's going into this game with 929 yards, so looking for that 1,000-yard season. 83 carries this year, 929 yards, 17 touchdowns. Jacob Norgard, even was sitting out last week. He has 63 carries, 745 yards year to date, 13 touchdowns.
Well,
so amazing numbers from those two guys.
Those numbers are crazy, is what they are, because if you think about both of those real stud tailbacks missing a game and then not playing a lot of quarters. They're taking quarters off because the game is in hand. And I understand not taking a risk, getting one of those guys hurt. But those numbers are really astounding. And you look at the per carry average, and that'll give you a hint about how dominant the line is blocking and how strong these guys are actually moving the ball, and how good our offense is being run.
Yeah, it is amazing to watch and to see how these kids are coming together right at the right time of the year. It is truly a great thing to watch.
Yeah.
And so for the players of the game last week, we had the seniors.
That's right. Go ahead and read those, Chester.
Okay.
You got those.
The seniors for the players of the game were Ryan Smith, Ryan Ford, Kareem Henry, Cole Baker, Austin Brooks, Kyle Hand, Tyson Hewitt, and Blake Reeves. So that was it was great to honor those guys there for all the hard work they put in and being the players of the game for our game against Macon East.
And one little thing, I don't know if people picked up on this. You know, we go into the field house and we interview the offensive and defensive players after the game, and we interview Coach Allen. So we get the seniors in there. They are the offensive and defensive players. So we're passing the mic around, and I inadvertently left Kyle Hand out of my question and answer. So if you notice, the quarterback is sitting there banging me on the leg, trying to give me the high sign to stop. And I finally picked up on it, and it was really kind of cool. We got Kyle involved in that, and I do apologize for missing Kyle for a minute. But that's just a little bit of the funny stuff that we get involved in with those guys. They're a tremendous group. I think they have a great relationship with each other. And they just have some sort of chemistry working that they complement each other. And you know, you think about those teams with those 8 seniors. We have 2 sophomores that are playing. We have 2 juniors that are playing dominant. And then we have guys who are coming in and filling roles. And it's not disruptive. Nothing has seemed to me to be a disruptive change to this team. And that's why I keep saying to you and to everybody who listens, I believe this is a very special team.
Yep. It is. It's a great group of folks to work with and watch them grow in their craft. So with all those numbers stated, we also want to announce the impact players of the game, which are?
Well, we're going to change things up. As I said, we're going to go impact player right now. So for last week, we have 2 impact players. And the first impact player, we talked about his numbers already. Luke Tarver is one of our impact players with his 5 carries, 144 yards, I believe is what that worked out to be. Awesome job by Luke last week. And our second impact player of the game is Drew Shepard. Nice job, Drew.
Great to have the guys here during the show. We love having them here filling in. So
I talked to Drew after the game, and I mentioned the fact that he had the scoop and score and, you know, put speed on that. A lot of people don't have guards who run like that in this in this league or any league. So those 2 guys deserve those awards, and we thank you for being here, and congratulations.
Yep. So let's look at tomorrow night's matchup against the Hooper Colts. Coming into the game here, they are 3rd in the Region 2A, Region 1. They're coming off of a 2-20 loss against Edgewood. I think that was the score. I know they lost. I know they only had 2 points, but that was a kind of an interesting game down there. So the Hooper Colts are averaging about 32 points a game, and the defense is giving up 24 points a game. So, you know, got a lot of opportunity there. We got a lot of weapons that can go out there and expose that defense of the Colts.
Well, I'll reach back into the vault of old football players, and I'll tell you, I really want to go over and beat Hooper because the first playoff game ever played by Chambers Academy, I was a member of that team. We cruised up to Hope Hall, and as we started dressing our 24 players, they asked us to move off the field so they could exercise their 70 players.
Whoa.
So it was 18-0 going into the fourth quarter, and we got beat 32-6. So that'll tell you how that game went. But let's go beat the Colts.
Yeah, well, the Colts lead the series 2-7. Rebels have only won 2, and so last year though the Rebels are coming off a 42-7 victory here at home. So it's our turn to head down to 85 and meet up with them down there in Hope Hall. It's about an hour, 45-minute drive from here. Right. So we hope that the Rebel faithful will hit the road and go cheer on the guys tomorrow night. So it should be it should be a good game. We've circled this one on this calendar for a while.
Well, you've been very diligent in mentioning Hooper, and you've come up with that idea of how important that game will be, and it's really played out. I mean, here we are, we're 3-0, and we've got to go over there and beat those guys and win the region, which will be again our 8th in a row, and that's really important because we want to play at home, and we'll talk more about that with our coaches. But yeah, it's a big game, and I am confident the Chambers Academy family is going to travel well. We'll be well represented over there, and just a little bit down 65 out of Montgomery. You'll see the football field. It's right on the side of the interstate.
Yeah.
Not hard to see.
Yeah,
so.
Easy access off the interstate there. So, but as the region shapes up here, the Rebels are in first place at 3-0 right now in the region. Edgewood, they've played their region games. They're 3-1. Hooper 2-1.
Right.
And then Macon East comes in at 0-3 and Abbeville 0-3. Those two guys are going to play tomorrow to see who's the 4th seed coming in to our region.
And the deal is this: we don't need to worry about anything except going to Hooper and winning the region. That's all we need to worry about.
That's right.
So we just go get that, let everything else fall the way it is.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment before we get into the next break to thank everybody. We have a packed house here. We have 2 of our coaches here. We have a ton of players here. Guys, thank you very much for all of you being here. We want to thank Monty Albon. Luis and Roxanne are always very gracious hosts to us. We want to thank Taffney Nelson for all the work she does. 2-3 Collective, they do a good job with providing us support as well. We also want to thank Mr. Howard, who diligently puts up with all our shenanigans and helps keep us straight.
Yep.
So it's a very big night, a good night here. So if you got a few minutes, come on up, grab a late bite to eat. And please take care of your servers. Those guys work awfully hard to take care of us. And it's been a good night already, so we'll just go from there.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break and bring up Coach Dillon, and we'll be back after this message from our sponsors.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank with 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Moneman number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farm special, north specials, sherry specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it also can meet the Chihuahua, Moneman number 3.
All right, folks, and welcome back here to Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show here with Jason Allen. But right now we have our defensive coordinator, Coach Dillon. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, guys. How are y'all?
Very good, very good.
Good deal.
It was a great game last week. You've gotten out 2 shutouts in a row against Abbeville and Macon East. And so talk to us a little bit about the Macon East game and how you came out there and matched up against them. Was there anything special, or was it just regular, just doing, just business?
Yeah, it was business as usual. I was really, excuse me, I was really proud of those 2 shutouts in a row, though, because, especially because the 2s were in there most of the second half. And so, that means a lot to us that we were able to shut 2 teams out like that.
If you go back into this, toward the beginning of the season, some of the other games, there was a late touchdown in there that, if we went back and looked at that, there would be a lot more shutouts too,
there would be more shutouts, but, we want those other guys to have the opportunity, and, and they've gotten the opportunity the last 2 weeks, and they've played well and kept them out of the end zone.
Yeah, they continue that shutout for you. So that's good stuff.
Yeah,
well, the other thing, too, and we talked about it during the game, it's like we thought the 2s came in and played well. It wasn't just a matter of, as we always were saying, they really got 3 quarters of play almost. And it's like those guys came in and played good defense. And I think I made mention on the game tape, there was a series of plays where Macon had kind of put a little bit of something together.
Yeah.
And I said,
they bowed their back.
Coach Dillon is out chewing people really hard right now. And I get it because you're coaching those guys because those guys are going to be your ones down the road.
That's right. Well, we're getting pushed around a little bit.
Yeah.
That's not what we want to do defensively.
Absolutely.
We want to take it to them. Don't, allow people to get on you and block you, and we were getting pushed around and it was their starters, obviously,
sure, absolutely,
against our twos, and they just bowed their back and they responded, and they've done a good job. Most of those guys go against our starting offensive line when we're doing scout team and stuff like that. And so we really push them during that, and they did a great job.
Yeah, so speaking of that, you got your 2 shutouts in a row there, and a lot of your twos are in there. How do you keep the starters engaged during those 2 when they're on the sidelines and things of that nature?
They're engaged because they're always standing right next to me just saying, Coach, can I get back in? Let me get back. I'll look. If I turn around, they all looking at me. And,
waiting for the call. Come on, yeah.
They want one more series?
They want one more series, one more play.
But that has got to be difficult though to keep them focused. As they go into the game, thinking, hey, we're overmatching this team here. From a coaching standpoint, is there anything special you do with them? You give them tasks to help look at some of the plays on the iPad and see how things are working. Do you give them different things to look at?
Yeah, and they coach them up too. The guy, we kind of ask them to kind of look at your position and coach them up, and sometimes they respond to player coaching like that, and that kind of helps develop leadership. So, they do a great job. Usually when we do a lot of, we talked about it earlier, we do a lot of reps in practice with our twos, and that's against our starters, and they'll see something happen and help out.
Well, the thing that I was just going to mention, and I'm so glad you mentioned that, because during the third quarter, as I'm watching guys on the sideline, and that thought's always going through our heads, like, how are we keeping these guys really focused, and what are they thinking about? And it was really nice to see not only your seniors, but players that were your starters on the field really talking it up with guys. They weren't ignoring the game. They weren't ignoring the players. They were interacting. And to me, that just shows great discipline and great focus across the board. I mean, those guys, I'm sure, want that kind of leadership from those starters.
Yeah, the ones want the shutout too. They want the shutout too. So they get upset when we get scored on too. So they're definitely engaged.
Yeah, we saw some good examples of the guys coming over and giving some feedback, and if their peers giving it to them, telling them, hey, do this, maybe a little bit different than the coach getting on to them, and they feel a little bit different about it.
It is. It's different.
Well,
it's different.
I would think that you could really lay your cards on the table if you're talking to a guy who's a 1, you're playing his position. He knows what you're facing because he was just there, and he can give you great feedback, and he can help you an awful lot.
There's no doubt. And they know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and it's so that just helps build us into better leaders, and that's what we need.
We continue to see. We saw in the first quarter, Macon East had kind of a couple of guys who were there, do everything. They played everything. They punted. They were on offense. They were on defense, and those guys were kind of the core of that team. And I really admired the fact that they didn't quit. They didn't give up. They played hard against the 1s. They played hard against the 2s, but they were overmatched, and the numbers were against them. But the thing that I think was the most impressive thing to me was as the game got going for our defense, our speed just really was more than they could handle. They could not get to people to block them. And you had TJ putting pressure in off that corner, which was disruptive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're fast defensively.
Yeah.
We're fast because everybody understands their assignment. That's what allows us to play so fast.
Well, you got one defensive end who can run a little bit. I mean,
we got a couple that can run a little bit.
Yeah, you actually do have a couple, and they will run and they will hit you too.
Yes, they will.
I got a little excited with Drew scoop and score. Just one of those things I was really excited to see that. And, it's so nice to see the 2 of them, Eli and Drew, their relationship and how well they play together. And they will both thump you. There's no doubt about that.
Everybody, all 11 will
Yeah,
thump you. I promise
absolutely.
you, or they wouldn't be out there.
On the as we look over to tomorrow night, Hooper, probably some the better competition we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
How are things?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any film from them. Are they a running team? Are they a passing team? What do they got down there?
They got some athletes. The 20-2 score was kind of deceiving against Edgewood. Edgewood scored with about a minute to go, so it was 14-2. I think Hooper probably turned it over 3 or 4 times that game. So the score could have been a lot closer. Hooper could have won the game. They got a couple threats. I think we're a little bit better than them up front defensively. So those guys should look to have a big game. But other than that, if we play our assignments right, and I don't see us having too much trouble.
I'm sure your guys, and I'm sure you and Coach Allen and all the other coaches are going to coach them up to the fact that now we're getting to the we're hitting the cash register.
Yes, we are.
It's time to cash things in and get the region and get that out of the
That's
way.
right, and that's not something to take lightly.
Right.
To have the chance to, our area may not be as good as it has been in the years past, but this would be the 8th year in a row that we're able to do that, and that's not many people can say that they've been a part of something like that. And a lot of these guys have been a part of it since at the very beginning, and that's something not to take lightly.
I think that's exactly right. It's probably a historic thing. I don't know about any records that have been like that in AISA. And you just don't see that happen hardly at all in high school football. There's just a string of dominant players that have come through the system, and I know the standards that you guys put out are part of that. We have great kids who obviously take to the coaching and take to the standards you set up, take to the workouts, and they understand how to play. And I feel very confident that our guys will be ready to play.
Yeah, the reason why we want to win the area is because we get to play at home.
Absolutely.
In the playoffs. And I can't think of any place I'd rather play, than at home. I wish we could play the state championship at home.
I agree.
It's a great atmosphere, and our kids just love it, and I think we play a lot, but, we just play lights out when we're at home.
Yeah, there is something about the Torbert Allen Field, just the energy down there. About a half hour before kickoff, man, it's probably one of the more exciting places I've been in high school football.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good football games right there, just since the years that I've been here.
That's true, and the thing that I will say is we always have a great crowd. And the CA family definitely shows out. They show up and they show out.
They do.
And they stick through this thing. And it's really a fun thing for us to be a part of and to get out there and see the kids after the game and talk to them. I'm always impressed by how mature and how professional they are and how they really just handle themselves so well. There's a lot of poise and a lot of composure with this group. And I think it's really on the field and it's off the field. I'm not saying they're all perfect angels and listen to everything you say, but as a group, more often than not, they're going to be mature and they're going to be poised and they're going to do their job.
Yeah, they're good kids.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of really good kids.
Well, I look forward to us making the trek over to Hope Hall tomorrow and getting ourselves going. So we'll load up and we'll go and see if we can't win the region. And one last thing I was just going to throw out there. We go over and if we take care of Hooper and we get this thing secured, does that change the way you will coach this team against Glenwood, which is a non-region game? Does it impact how you approach that game at all?
No, we're going to win.
I like that.
We're not going to change anything we do. We're going to win, no matter who we play.
That's a great attitude.
And I appreciate that so much. I really like this. I like the fact I like our chances to win out. We're going to try to get number 8 tomorrow in a row. And after that, we'll take care of business. We'll look at number 9, and we'll go from there. Coach, it's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for sharing your time and knowledge with us. We appreciate it. Thank you, Mark. Thanks. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back with Coach Jason Allen.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank. With 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Moneman number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farm special, north specials, share specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it also can meet the Chihuahua, Moneman number 3.
All right, folks, and welcome back to Chambers Academy Sports Live. Coaches Show here with Jason Allen, brought to you by Farmers and Merchants Bank. We're up here at Monte Alban having another great Thursday night talking football. So we have Jason here talking about last week's game, and we're looking forward to tomorrow getting a little insight of what's going to be happening down there in Hooper.
Yeah,
so,
it's great to be here, Chester. Just what a great time of year it is. The days are getting a little shorter. Everybody's excited about Friday nights, and this show right here, I get pumped every week just coming up here on Thursdays, and I'm just so proud that our fan base, our community, and you guys are so passionate about our program here at CA, and it's just great to be a Rebel. I can say that.
It's very easy to be excited about this program and these kids who are just outstanding players. We've really had a good time this year. We're looking forward to a lot more fun.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to try to get a little bit of business taken care of tomorrow night, get this region tucked away.
Yep, and I was talking, Scott Sickler and I are good friends. He was Valley Times sports reporter for upwards close to 30 years. He is the foremost authority on Chambers County and the surrounding area, Troup County football. He has informed me that if we win Friday night and win the region for an 8th consecutive time, that will be a record for this entire area in the history of football played in Chambers County. 8 in a row region titles, and that started a long time ago with some really good kids. And you kind of take that for granted, but I'm really excited about 8 in a row. That's a chance to make history.
We just talked about that with Coach Dillon, and I suppose it was a record. It's really good to get that confirmed and know that's what we have here.
Amazing stat right there. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on within the AISA and all the news out there about 4 teams leaving and going to public school. That's Lee Scott, Glenwood, Pickens, and Autauga. And a lot of the questions that people are ask me about is how are the divisions going to go? Are they still going to have 3A, 2A, and 1A? Is there any insight into that yet?
I stay pretty well connected, and Mr. Owens is on the athletic committee for the state. We feel that we are going to add some teams that are currently not in the AISA that we've been negotiating with, but we will drop to 2 classifications next year. I think that was going to happen regardless if these 4 teams left or not, because 3A had gotten smaller, and they decided that they were going to go to 2 classifications. So I think that's pretty much a done deal. Right. So you'll have a larger classification, which could be 3A, a smaller classification, which could be 2A, and then they'll keep the 8-man division, which would be 1A.
Okay. That's something that, we get a lot of questions about where, how things would be aligned next year, but that does make sense. So we'll look forward to getting more information on about that. So thanks for filling us in.
Yeah, so, those 4 schools did what they thought was best for them. Everybody's got to do what's best for them, but I don't get it, Chester. You're going to an association that by their actions basically say that they don't want you because they slant all the rules against you. Mm-hmm. First of all, when you go there, your student enrollment counts 0.35 more than any other school that you're classified against. So if you have 100 kids, now you got 135, okay? That's one thing, okay? Maybe you can say, I can live with that. But here's the next thing. If you're successful for a 2-year period, they tell you, okay, we're just going to keep moving you up till you can't win anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The only thing I know in the world that's like that is the IRS and the American tax system. So why would we want to go to an association that if we're successful, the next year we're going to say, well, let's don't win quite so many games so we can stay in the same division. It makes no sense to me. Second of all, why would we want to take our kids into the same environments that they're running from with the failed public school system in America, trying to get to our school, and we're going to send those kids back out there on a Tuesday night, a Thursday night, and a Friday night to play basketball,
Right.
a Tuesday night to play JV football, or a Friday night to play varsity football, and so on. Those kids are coming to Chambers Academy because they're tired of what's going on around them. And so we're not going to put our people back in those environments. That's just a decision that we've made. We're going to stick with the AISA until there is no AISA,
Right.
or we form a new AISA.
Right. And, you know, Coach, I certainly agree with everything you're saying there. I think one of the things that strikes me about this is really the immediate disadvantage that the public school wants to put on private schools coming in. Just seems blatantly unfair. And you're exactly right. Your success almost draws another penalty. So that makes no sense. I think our environment is unmatched. I will tell you, I think our level of environments that we go to and play are unmatched. I certainly think ours is at home.
Yeah. I mean, it's safe for your kids. How about that?
Absolutely.
I want to be somewhere where my family's safe and my kids are safe, you know. And, I think what's really going on to the heart of the matter, Alabama High School doesn't need or want private schools. They just want to get rid of the AISA,
Right.
because then they become a monopoly and they can make the rules as they see fit. That's just plainly how I see it. I could be wrong, but once they get all the private schools, if that happens, they're gonna get even more severe on private schools. That's just my opinion.
I think it'll be very telling. I think about Pike Liberal going, I think a couple years ago, maybe this is their second season in the public school, and their football team came off a 12-1 record, and I think won 3 games or 4 games, and I think they won 3 so far this year. So I don't know what the great payout. I've heard people say that the payout is less travel and the payout is other sports that the AISA isn't offering. That's a big change. That's an awfully big change for those other sports.
Yeah, I think I'd rather drive 60 or 70 or 100 miles extra, know that I'm going to an environment that's going to be safe for my team and my kids. That's just kind of how I see it. You know, gas is kind of high. Maybe we'll get another president in office where we can get the gas down a little bit. But, until then, we just going to keep doing what we got to do to make
Right.
sure our teams and our kids are safe. And we're going to make sure the AISA is going to survive and it's going to be stronger than ever.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and I think that's exactly what we do. We just play. We get our schedule put together as best we can. We make this league as good as we can. And if this league goes away, we try to form our own.
Absolutely.
And we do that.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, it's really good to. I really appreciate your insight into that. I was talking to Coach Dillon about tomorrow night going up there. Is there anything that you see with Hooper that you have concerns about, or you are wary of?
Yeah, I'm always concerned because it's the next game and they're the next team. Okay, and we want to be region champs. We want to win every time we walk out there, and those guys put their shoes on same as we do, their pants on one leg at a time, and so they're going to be expecting to beat us. It's their senior night. It's at home, and we're going to go out there and we're going to put our best foot forward. I think our team is we had a fantastic practice today. We've had good practices all week. I think our team is really coming into its own. I think we can still play better than we've been playing. I really like our football team, and, I'm excited about this year. We're getting closer to playoffs. You can feel it in the air. I get a little less sleep. I wake up thinking about football. I go to sleep thinking about football, and, every week's a big one.
Absolutely. And the thing that I think about with the excitement of coming into this time of year, and I think about these young guys who are playing for us, I still say there's upside to them. I agree with you. Their focus has been great, and you've had a couple of games in a row that you played starters basically a quarter, maybe a little bit more than a quarter, and it looks like to me the next game that rolls up, that hasn't impacted our team at all. Our team comes out just as sharp. They get themselves on the line of scrimmage, and they control that line of scrimmage offensively and defensively.
Yep, and guess what? Our practices are better because our young guys are excited, because they got to play. They're ready to come in on Monday and watch the film because they're actually on it this time.
Right.
And they're playing better on scout team. It makes our guys work harder, and it's just a win-win effect. My goal always has been as a head coach, and I learned this from Robert Maddox. I got 2 goals going into every game. First one is to win the game. Second one is to make sure everybody plays. Now, they happen in that order, and 2 never supersedes number 1. But if we get both of them accomplished, we felt like it was a successful night.
Well, we really liked – we talked about this the other night, Friday after the game. I see that some parts of a game like that where the numbers are in your favor and the talent's in your favor. Talent, speed, hitting, things like that. But it's like – it's great to get those guys on film. It's great to have you guys get a chance to coach them, not running out of clock, but running 3/4 of a game. They really are playing that game against the other teams once.
Yep, and we go out there. We call a timeout and try to get their attention. And I tell them when we put them in there, guys, we're not putting you in the game to let them score. And let's just face it, Macon East is down.
Right.
Abbeville's down. Those teams are not putting the product on the field this year that they have in years past, but they will be back.
Right.
Football is cyclical in small schools. They'll have some athletes again, but right now they're down. So we made the most of the situation. We put our guys in there. I thought we executed at a high level. Then we got our guys out of there.
Absolutely.
And we're making sure we're healthy and we're winning football games, and our program is building because our young guys are getting reps, live reps on Friday nights. There's no substitute for that.
Well, I see nothing but positives for the 2s getting all that playing time, for the 1s getting some rest, for the 1s not getting hurt. And speaking of injury, how is Jacob coming along from that?
Well, Jacob will be out again this week. He's still not where he needs to be.
Okay.
Our number 1 priority is to make sure Jacob Norgard's healthy for the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So we'll evaluate him again next week. He's making some progress, but he's still not there yet, and we're not going to put him on the field until we know that he doesn't have a chance to re-injure that ankle.
Well, it's tough to hear that, but of course it's the best decision for Jacob. I'm sure he understands that. We wish him the very best, want him to get well so we can get him back out on the field.
Yep. And we got a lot of depth too. T.J. Daniels, Tyson Hewitt's playing some tailback this week.
Right.
We've even played Landon Hand at some at tailback, so he's pretty much played everywhere for us this year. Quarterback, he plays a Z receiver and tailback. So he can pretty much do it all. And so we got a lot of guys with some depth. But I tell you what really is making things go is those guys up front. Those are the unsung heroes of our football team, along with Ryan Smith and Eli Horton. Those guys are really the reason why we're doing what we're doing. And I can't give that O-line and those guys enough credit.
We try to find an opportunity to give it, the credit to them when we're up there talking, but like we said earlier, those running back stats, they just speak. Luke's almost to 1,000 yards and he set out one game. That just shows you what a dominant performance they're having out there. Some of those holes they're opening up is amazing, and it's awesome to see from our vantage point how it just flows through there. The work they do is amazing.
Yep, the first touchdown, though, Luke ran 68 yards, and they didn't touch him.
Yeah. Well, I think I said that a couple of times. He was untouched for 20 yards.
I think we asked the question several times, did anyone touch him on a 2-point conversion and also on the long run? Yeah. It was really, I agree with that. I think that the guys came out and established the game. They took control of the game, and they got us in a position to win the game and then make adjustments, get them off the field, and play from there. I'm very excited about going to Hooper and seeing what that product is. And here's why I say that is no matter what they bring, no matter who they bring, we'll bring these guys and we'll play whatever people they bring or whatever scheme they bring. And I will think these guys will play awfully well.
We are. We're going to play anywhere, anytime, and our kids are going to play hard. We've proven that over an 8 to 10 year period. So I'm excited. I never take it for granted. When we get to go on Friday nights, that is such a special feeling. These kids understand that, golly, can you believe it's week 9?
Yeah.
We're fixing to be at week 10. We're finna be in the playoffs, and it'll be over, and we'll be wishing for this time of year again. But we're gonna live it, and we're gonna love it, and we're gonna breathe it, and we're gonna have fun with it while it's happening.
Absolutely. We're excited about the game tomorrow, and then finishing up the season at home versus Glenwood. and then we'll step into the playoffs. Is there any insight into the playoffs, where some of the folks are falling? Are we going to first round?
On the other side, the 1 is set. That's Banks Academy. The 4 is set. That's Escambia. Tomorrow night, Clark Prep and Patrician will play for the 2nd and 3rd seed. Okay. On our side, right now, if we were to lose tomorrow night, it would be a 3-way tie between us, Edgewood, and Macon East. However, right now we're plus 14 in the tiebreaker column, so we'd have to lose by more than 14 to Hooper not to be region champs in a 3-way tie. Of course, if we win the game outright, we are region champs. So we don't want to get into all that tiebreaker stuff. Let's just go win it and move on from there. So it look right now, if we're the one, we will host Escambia in the first round. And then the second round, we would host the winner of the 2 seed on that side versus the 3 seed on our side, which is probably Hooper. It depends on what happens tomorrow night.
Well, to refresh my memory, wasn't Escambia, didn't they come here last year?
They did.
First round? Okay.
They did.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
They got a better team this year. So we've been watching those guys some. So we try to keep everything lined up, just kind of keep an eye on the future, but keep both feet in the present.
Absolutely.
We want to keep playing. Obviously, we want to have multiple games down the road. But I know, Coach Dillon, I know what you're thinking. The priority is tomorrow night, and you'll worry about Glenwood after tomorrow night's over. That's in the win column. Then you'll worry about playoff games after that.
Correct.
So we'll go over there, and we'll match up with those guys, and we'll do our thing. And I think we'll put on a good show, and we're really excited about this group, and we look forward to a great outing tomorrow night. Coach, thank you again for all your time. We appreciate having you here.
I appreciate you guys, and remember, it's great to play for the CNEA.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, folks, we'll be back in a minute for our closing segment.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank. With 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Moneman number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farm special, north specials, share specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it. And also can meet the Chihuahua, Moneman number 3.
All right, folks, and welcome back here for our closing segment here at the Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show with Jason Allen. It's been a great evening here at Monte Alba. We had a packed house, a lot of players out here from the football team, and a lot of fans. We appreciate all them coming out here. It's been a great evening, Sid.
Really big crowd tonight, a boisterous crowd, and it was really nice to have Coach Allen just lay things out there for us.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
He got
Get some
down to the
insight.
nitty-gritty and let us know what was going on.
Yeah, it's great to hear somebody who understands the situation a lot better than us just guessing at it.
And that's the difference. That's the difference in someone who is actually involved in some of the conversations and the discussions that are going on. And I think you have a very clear explanation of that and a very impassioned view of it. And I think that's exactly what we want to have. We want to see that, and we want to understand what's going on.
Yep. And we just want to restate the players of the game and congratulate them from last Friday night's game. It was all the seniors: Ryan Smith, Ryan Ford, Corrine Henry, Cole Baker, Austin Brooks, Kyle Hand, Tyson Hewitt, and Blake Reeves. Those guys provide great leadership for the team and done a wonderful job this year, and we just wanted to honor them as the players of the game. And also, congratulate Luke Tarver and Drew Shepard as the impact players of the game for last Friday's game versus Macon East. And we're just excited to head on down to Hope Hall and bring back a big old win from Hooper. This will be my first time going down there, so it's the first time I know that Chambers Academy Sports Live has been there. So should be a interesting evening tomorrow night.
Well, I think it will be interesting. I think we'll go over there and we'll just see how that game shapes up. It'll probably not be the same as the last two games. I think their product, as we talk about, will be better. But I have great confidence in this group. I think they're going to go over there and they're going to get business done. And, it's the important part of the year. It's winning the region, securing home playoff position. So I know our coaches will have our kids ready, and I know they'll be ready to play.
Yep, it should be a great time. If you guys don't have anything to do tomorrow, head down 85 and stop in there and watch the Rebels play over there at Hooper. And if you can't make it down there, always tune in to us here on YouTube, Chambers Academy Sports Live. Hit the subscribe button so you're notified every time we bring up a game, if it's football, baseball, basketball, volleyball, whatever it is. Right. Get notified of that. And also make sure that you like our Facebook page and share it with everybody you can.
That's exactly right. And look, hey, we're very excited. This year is on a roll. We've won 7 in a row. Let's go pick up number 8 in a row tomorrow night and win this region.
Sounds good. Folks, we will see you down there at Hope Hall tomorrow. If you can't make it, catch us here on Chambers Academy Sports Live YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everybody.